Hi guys, welcome to my little tutorial on using drones and GarageBand to create a drone. What we're going to do is record the sound of an actual instrument, clarinet I'm going to use, and we're going to turn that into a little loop inside GarageBand, and that could be used inside your drone recording. So over here, if you look at the iPad, this is the main page that comes up when you open GarageBand, and we're going to click over onto tracks, and then down here is a sampler. We're going to click on the sampler. At this point you're presented with a large interface, and the important part here is the start button. That'll start recording, and the thing that's useful to know is that you can trim, once you've created a recording, you can trim it after you've made it quite easily, so you don't need to worry about the recording going too long or too short. You can adjust all those little things afterwards. So what I'm going to do, so I'm going to hit the start button, and then I'm going to record a note. The iPad here, I'm going to hit the stop button. You can see right now where I'm talking, the little sound wave is popping up. That's part of the recording. We're going to hit stop now. So initially we probably want to clip out this little extra bit of recording here. That's like my voice speaking, so we'll drag this little bar down to the right. And what we'll like to do initially is give this sample a name. I'm going to click on the My Sample. I'm going to rename it. I'm going to call it Clarinet G. So that was a note I was playing on there. And then if we want to go back and edit this some more, and then what happens is the sound gets mapped across this keyboard here. So if I hit one of these notes, I'll turn this up a little bit. You can see it's playing. I can even turn those into chords. So now, and you can do some other interesting things. You can create that into, you can turn it into a loop. If you look down on the options here, I can turn that into a loop. So then as I play, it's just going to continuously loop the sound. Very useful when you're making drone sounds. You can trim and shape the sound if you wanted to actually trim it down, things like that. And you can tune the sounds too by adjusting these buttons here. The slider, just going to leave it where it is. And if we click on it, back onto My Sample, if it's a sample you want to keep for other projects, you can add this to the library. So I kind of like this clarinet sound, so I'm going to click on Add to Library. And we're going to just call it Clarinet G, same name. Otherwise, it will just stay in the project you're working on. Click on Done. So I've got that in my library, so I can use it for other projects. Now, once that's recorded, you can hit on this little button up here, which takes us up over to the Loops view. Now I've recorded a few other sounds in here. This is currently in tracks view, and there's a little button up here which shows grid. You're going to switch. You can switch between grid, which gives you the loops sounds in here that are played by loops, or this, by pressing this, it takes you over to the track view. So at the minute, what I want to do is go and just play back in a loop one of these sounds so you can hear it. So when I click on that grid, it'll start playing a sound. Now you can create multiples of these. Now I've been busy making a few little sounds in here, so I'm going to start. That's a shorter clarinet one, but we can, by hitting these buttons, we can trigger various recordings that I've got in here. And and play around with starting and stopping these little loops. And we can also record the progression of those loops into a larger track. So you can hit record here and it will record back generally what you've done, and then you can go in, let's just stop these for a second by pressing the buttons. You can then go over to how that is played out as a full track and edit these tracks in here. But this is basically some of it. I'll just play what's going on here quickly so you can kind of get the idea. So this is clarinet track going on. So there's some useful resources there for you to create drones, and I hope that's going to be of use for your drone piece, guys. I'll look forward to seeing you in class. Bye.